it's Divij. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 best investments that you guys can make today to change your life completely when it comes to where you are financially. Make smart investment decisions with the money that you do have. And as you guys may know, when you put your money in your savings account, it literally goes there to die because the banks just simply do not pay you the interest rates that you really deserve. You're not getting the proper return on your money. So with all that in mind, guys, these are the 5 best investment decisions you guys can make in your early 20s, and I promise you, it is going to completely change your life in terms of where you are financially. So strap on that seatbelt and let's get in the video. The first thing that you guys need to be doing with your money in your early 20s is make sure that you have enough cash, obviously set aside for an emergency. You want to make sure that you have enough funds in cash set aside so that you can use those funds. Keep at least 6 months of finances set aside in your checking or savings account so that if something does happen, knock on wood, whether it's a medical emergency or an unexpected bill comes up, you have enough money set aside to actually pay for those certain things that maybe you weren't expecting. Now, once you do have enough money set aside, you want to take the rest of that money and start to diversify it across different investment opportunities or different investment accounts. So the first one that I want to tell you guys about is individual stocks. Now, you guys have probably heard of Robinhood. You may have seen it on TikTok. People, kids on TikTok pretending like they know everything about investments and stocks. I would highly recommend not taking advice from a TikTok star. Just a fair warning. But what you guys can do is get a Robinhood account. It's totally free. The best thing about Robinhood is they do not charge you when you make a trade. So let's say you buy 10 shares of Tesla, which by the way is at over $2,000, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But the cool thing is that they won't charge you any sort of fee. I would highly suggest using different resources out there like Morningstar, Barron's, Yahoo Finance. Think about the companies that you use still to this day and that you will continue to be using in terms of their products or services. So for me, I will always use Spotify no matter what. I use it for my podcast, to listen to music, and that's why I put some of my money into the Spotify stock. And guess what? It has completely shot up due to the recent Joe Rogan and Kim Kardashian exclusivity deals. I would definitely consider the different businesses that you think are actually going to continue to evolve and continue to grow over time. Some of those companies might be Walmart, Tesla, PayPal. Those are just some examples of companies that are probably going to be around for quite a while, right? Definitely try putting a little bit of your money into individual stocks, and it's definitely going to be a great learning experience. So that's the first one for you guys. Let's get into tip number 2. All right, guys, so let's get right into tip number 2. This is the second thing that you guys should be doing with your money in your early 20s. And I promise you, this is the best investment that you will ever make in your entire life, and that is the investment we all call real estate. As you guys have heard probably the old age saying of the best investment on earth is earth itself. And that is so true. So let's get right into it, guys. Obviously now you're probably like, Divij, I only have $30,000 in my bank account. How do I even go buy a house right now? Like, how is that even possible? The way you guys are gonna be able to do that is by OPM. And that is other people's money. You have to leverage the banks that are out there. Now, there's so many different types of loans, right? There's hard money, there's conventional, there's FHA, there's all these different types of loans, there's jumbo loans. So you really gotta do your research and figure out what these different types of loans are, and then you'll be able to better understand how the financing side works. But besides that, you wanna really make sure that when you are ready to invest, you're investing in an area that you understand so well. When I look at areas like Los Angeles and Orange County, where I primarily do most of my business as a realtor, I make sure that I understand everything about the area. I have to be the expert. So that consists of understanding all the school districts, knowing literally where every single Starbucks location is at. Once you guys do start to understand real estate, I highly recommend it as an investment, whether it's buying a duplex, living in one unit, renting out the other, doing a fix and flip where you buy a house, increase the value by doing a renovation and then flipping it, or even buying multiple units, or even buying an SFR. So there's a lot of different types. So that's the number 2 advice I would give you guys, is start to explore real estate. And the best thing you guys can do is just start to learn. Go out to your local open houses, meet the agents, make some calls, talk to people, and just learn as much as you can. So that's number 2, guys. Let's get into tip number 3. All right, guys, let's get right into number 3. The number 3 thing that you guys need to be doing in your early 20s with your money is making sure you are getting rid of the evil that is bad debt. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of debt out there that is actually very good. If you guys listen to Grant Cardone, he talks about how he has literally almost $500 million worth of debt. So the point is to have the right kinds of debt and not the wrong kinds of debt. So it's very similar to when you're doing a diet, right? You want to make sure that you're having the right kinds of fats, the right kinds of carbs. So as opposed to eating a burger with a bunch of oil and stuff and a disgusting, burger patty from In-N-Out, you're gonna have a really, really healthy lettuce wrap with avocado and like a lean meat, right? So there's different types of debt is basically what I'm getting at. So things like credit card debt are definitely things that you want to make sure you're paying down, because you don't want to be paying unnecessary interest, right? There's credit cards out there, guys, and I'm telling you this from personal experience. There are credit cards out there that will charge you upwards of 25%. If you are spending $1,000 and you don't pay that $1,000 down, you're gonna end up paying 25% of $1,000, which is literally $250, and that is literally just wasted money going to the bank. So if you guys have any sort of bad debt, make sure you're paying it down. I would even recommend paying it down before you take your money and put it into Robinhood, because there's no better feeling than being debt-free, at least when it comes to the bad debt. Now, when you have a mortgage or you have, other kinds of debt related to your investments, sometimes it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Let's say you've raised money to start a business. That's good debt, right? Because you're actually being productive with it. But when you're just shelling your money off to the bank, that is a bad way to spend your money. So make sure you guys have the right kinds of debt. And even things like auto loans, those really are not the best. Now, I personally do like spending money on my cars just because they make me happy and I feel fulfilled by driving, and I work so much that when I go out, I want to really enjoy the car that I'm driving. So I do spend around $500 to $600 a month on my car, which is okay, but you have to budget for that. Debt can be evil, but then there's also other debts that are really, really great. So let's get into tip number 4. All right, guys, we are back against the gray wall. I'm not working with much space, so bear with me. But the number 4 thing that you guys should be doing with your money is putting it into the thing that is called an index fund. Now, an index fund is basically a portfolio of high-performing stocks all combined into one. So as opposed to putting your money into one stock, you're putting your money into sort of a folder of different stocks that combined together will give you a certain amount of return over time. So this is definitely a more safe play. It's a more conservative play because you're sort of diversifying in your investment. So highly recommend having at least a portion of your finances put into an index fund. I personally put about a couple $100 in every month automatically. And that's money that you'll start to see over time is going to start to grow and grow and grow. And that's great money for you to kind of just build up for your retirement or whatever your long-term plans are. So make sure you guys have some sort of long-term investment strategy, because while it's great to play individual stocks and that's more high risk, it's also good to have a conservative part of your portfolio just for the long-term sake. So that's tip number 4. Let's get into the 5th and final tip. What a view. What's up, guys? All right, guys. The 5th and final thing that you guys should be doing with your money in your early 20s is investing in a mentor/learning. Guys, knowledge is so important. Life in your early 20s is not all about maximizing your return financially. It's about growing as a person, becoming an individual that you're proud to be, and having knowledge that is going to make you stand out in conversations when you're out networking, you're at important business dinners. You're able to carry important, intelligent conversations. So make sure you guys are investing in a mentor. There's a lot of great resources out there. Just do some research and find a tool that you guys can use to find a mentor. You can use Facebook groups, reach out to friends. LinkedIn is an excellent resource for you guys to use to find a mentor. And I would recommend talking to somebody who has done the things that you aspire to do, right? So if you want to be the best realtor in the world, go to the best realtors in your area and ask them if you can have a little bit of their time, and maybe in exchange do something for them for free, maybe take some photos or whatever, add some value, and in return get advice and knowledge. Invest in some courses. There's a lot of scammy courses out there, so be mindful of that, but invest in yourself, invest in knowledge, and remember that every day is an opportunity to become a better person. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, turn post notifications on. If you gained any sort of knowledge from this video, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave a thumbs up, put a comment down below, let me know which of these investments you plan to start taking action on first. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to hop on a call. That's it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.